Hello, my name is Chris Allen, and my final project is on a home server control system. So I've put together a system over the last few years that allows me to control and get information about what's going on in my house. So I've got various X10RF sensors, which are in the lower left here for reading door and window information. So when a door opens or closes or a window opens or closes, a wireless signal is sent to the computer and it logs that information. I've got Raspberry Pis for webcam images. I have MoteNose in the lower right here, which is kind of a wireless Arduino, if you're familiar with that. I even have some older fidgets that are hardwired for temperature readings. But basically, lots of different ways to gather information about the environment in the house, light levels, temperature, humidity, as well as the state, doors being open or closed, and that type of thing. And I've been working on the system for a number of years, but I've never really had the time to put together an easy to use interface to the system, to the dismay of my wife, who has to contact me every time she wants to adjust the furnace temperature, which means I get to remote into the server and adjust the on-off values, which usually involves tapping on a little tiny keyboard on my phone because it's a command line interface. So this class has provided me with the knowledge I needed to put together what I believe is a very easy to use interface to the system, but we'll see how user testing goes. So the architecture is I've got a home server, and on there I've got a home server Windows service that I wrote that handles everything with the house. It logs the environmental sensors every 12 seconds to a SQL Server database. It logs the security information from those wireless door sensors on demand. As it receives something over the RF, it goes ahead and logs it immediately to the SQL Server. And then I've got the new program that I created for this project is a home server Azure client, which is a console application right now, and it handles interacting with the home server as well as interacting with Azure. So it reads the environmental data once per minute from SQL Server and uploads everything that hasn't been uploaded since the last time it uploaded. So when the environmental sensors are logged to the database, there's a column in there that is uploaded on, and that is null when they're written. And then when the home server client writes them up to Azure, it fills in that value. So if there's a connectivity problem, the next time it gets connectivity, it just goes ahead and uploads everything in batch via the mobile web service. It also has an interface for uploading the security data on demand using event hubs. That information is more sporadic. It doesn't occur every minute. It occurs whenever it occurs. Whenever somebody opens a door, that information is logged to SQL Server. A socket message is sent to the home server Azure client. When it gets that socket ping from the Windows service, it goes into the database to see what happened, and then it uploads any of that information. It also uploads camera data once a minute using blob storage, and there's also table storage that is used for a little note-taking application, a shared note application between users, and one of the users being the home server. So it can also add notes to this note application, and I get notifications when those notes are added to the system. There are a lot of different services that were created for this, for notifications, user profiles, the environment sensors, the security sensors, this note-taking application, the cameras, this command and control system for the home. So when I say turn the furnace on the phone, it is able to go and communicate directly with the home server without having to, do a lot of polling and that type of thing. So that's the architecture. Let me just show you what this looks like here. So we'll bring up here in the background is my console application running on my home server, and you can see as different events take place, in the background, the JSON of those messages are being displayed on the screen. And let me bring up my application here. And so you can see here it just updated a batch of 5, so every 12 seconds results in 5 being uploaded once per minute. There are no images to upload here, and this reading messages from the queue, this is the service bus queue that the Azure client sits on and waits for messages to come in. And if no message comes in, it does use long polling, which is an advantage of the service bus queues. So it'll go and say, hey, is there a message? Do you want me to do something? And it sits there for a while, and if there's no message, it comes back and then immediately goes and opens up another connection waiting for a message. And that way I'm able to issue commands from the phone directly to the system, and it actually works pretty quickly. So let me go ahead and log into the application here. And so I can come into the environment and I can see, this is over the last hour. I might want to adjust my time frame to say 12 hours and see kind of a little more about what's going on in here. Different readings in the house. I can adjust this and get kind of a more detailed view of what's going on. That's the environment. I can come back here to the security and look at what's going on in the security here to see when doors are being opened and closed and for how long. Like I can come in here and click on one of these and see that the how long the door was opened, that it was closed for 55 minutes, and then it was opened, and it was open for 5 minutes and 49 seconds. So really handy information as far as that goes. And then the furnace, for being able to turn the furnace on or off. Let's go ahead and adjust this to, say, a 1 hour time frame. And then I'm going to turn the thermostat off, and you can see I'm issuing commands and they're showing up over here, and I'm going to turn the furnace on, and you'll see the furnace on just occurred. I got my notification because my part of my profile says I want to be notified whenever the furnace turns on or off. And I can go ahead and try to turn it off, and you'll notice it immediately received it over here, and the message came back, you can't do that right now because it has to run for a period of time, and the message comes up over here on the right side on the phone application. So we'll let that run for a little bit here and go look at some other stuff. And so the camera settings here, right now I just have a driveway, view of the driveway, which actually also captures my front door showing up. And what it's doing right now is loading the thumbnails. So I have 2 blob storage containers. I have one for thumbnails and I have one for the regular size images. And you can see it shows the sensor that tripped the reason for the image that it was taken, what happened, the kitchen door was closed, what the date and time was, and I can go ahead and click on this, and it pulls up the image from the larger non-thumbnail container so that I can get a better detailed view of what's going on or what happened. And we'll come back here. There we go. So if I come back into here and I have notes. So notes is another area of the program where this uses table storage so that whenever someone can come in here and post a new note like, grocery list and, cat food, dog treats. It's all about the animals. Laundry, detergent, etc. And we'll say, normal priority, and we'll save that. And when I save that, everyone who is using this application gets notified, which would be like me and my wife. And it shows up here on the list. And it's handy for like this public IP address because I'm always wondering what the IP address is of my system, And now what happens is that the system will automatically update this list if the IP address changes, which is really handy. Um, so anyway, that's the shared notes. Users, I can come in here and see the users in the system and sort it by pending or approved or all, and see who they are and what their account information is and that type of thing. And then there is the my profile setting. So in here, you can get notifications. So if you want to get a notification that, hey, whenever the, bunny temperature rises above, falls below, say, 20 degrees and rises above, say, 80 degrees, maybe we want to know about that, and I can save that, and now I'll get a notification when that happens. This is where I might get notifications of different security events in the system, and here, this is why I'm getting notified of when the furnace turns on or off, and other useful bits of information. So if we come back here to the furnace, and I can see now it's been running for a while, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And when it goes off, there's my bunny temperature. I'm not getting a sensor reading in there, but now I also got a notification that the furnace ran for 3.8 minutes and the furnace turned off. And that's because I had a notification set up. I want to be notified whenever the furnace runs for, say, more than 2 minutes or something like that. But anyway, so this is the basic application. I hope you enjoyed it, and I am sorry I ran so long.